Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Gabin from Design Tribe, and in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I designed this flyer from start to finish. So the very first thing we are going to be doing is to create a new project. Just go to new, create. I'll maintain the size of 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. My resolution will remain at 200 pixels and I click OK. Okay, once that is created, the first thing I want to do is create a background color for my design. So the color we have here, we have a kind of bluish theme going on. So I want to create exactly that. So I'm just going to create a new layer, come to my colors here, and I pick something about that color and I fill this layer. The next thing I want to do is to bring in a texture layer, I used for this project. I drag and drop the texture layer, increase the size to something like this. Okay, at this point what I want to do is change the blend mode to multiply, and I reduce the opacity a little, something about this. I think that is okay. The next thing I want to do is to bring in the building, the school campus. I bring this in. Once it is fitted in, I just desaturate it to make it black and white. Once that is done, I flip it horizontally, Ctrl T for transform, and I flip horizontal and I position it somewhere up here. I increase the size a little, something about this. Then I don't want this flag in the design, so I'm going to rasterize this layer. Then I use patch tool to cut out this flag. Okay, once that is done, now I'll create a mask on this layer. Undo. Okay, I just select that section before creating the mask. Once the mask is created, I will increase the size of it a little, increase the size of the image a little to something like this, about this position. Then what I want to do now is invert the mask with Command I, and I use a soft brush, change my color to white, my foreground color to white, and I just click here, and that's it. The building has appeared. So what I need to do now is I reduce the opacity a little to that point. Next thing I want to bring in is the bus. This is the bus I used. The bus image was downloaded from freepik.com. I think no, pixabay.com, not freepik.com, pixabay.com. You want to align like this. Just readjust it, this position. That's it. And the next thing I want to do is to bring in my logo, the logo of the organization. Okay, that's it. Reduce the size of the logo, fit it there. You want to zoom in a little. Now use my shape tool to create a line. In the right, Academy Fellowship Cameroon. Use the font Montserrat. I use a regular Montserrat regular. Reduce my font size to about 10 and I type in Academy Fellowship Cameroon. Okay, I'll select everything, go to my character panel and I'll adjust the space in between the characters, in between the lines, sorry. Modify that a little, maybe 9. Once that is done, you can space it up a little by selecting the text, hold the Alt key and use the arrow right button on my keyboard, then position it like this. Next thing I want to create is the 21 days. Let's create a box like this. Use my text tool, change text color to white and I type in 21 days. Centralize the text. I bring it to the center here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to create another rectangle to carry the month. Here I'll change the color to white and I'll take this layer beneath the other, and reposition it like this, and in there I'll type September. Change the font size type to bold, increase to 11 points, then I bring it on this September. Then to 30th. So 30th. Okay, I'll select this and I click on this. Change the font type to medium. Once that is done, position it here. The next thing to do now is to type in the back to school text. So I'll just type back to increase the font size. I change my font to silence rocking. Silence rocking regular. That's it. increase the size again to that. I bring it here, modify the color to something bluish. Need a bluish, like that. I'm going to modify this color later. Then the next text I'm going to put in is school, and select everything, type in school. For this I'm going to be using another font, Atma Regular. School. And then I will duplicate this other font, the back to font, Control J, Control or Command J. I duplicate that, and I change this text to retreat. Retreat. Okay. I think there's a typing error here. Okay, reduce that. Just reposition everything. Retreats. Reposition school. Okay. Think that is done. I will select all of this text together, put them in a group, convert them to a smart object so it can be easy for me to work with. Maybe I reduce everything so we can see how everything looks like. I need to reduce the size of this box a little. Yep, like that. Go back to this, put it at the center, and then I'll bring down this a little, building a little. Okay, and then I'll distort this, Control T for transform, and I go to distort. I just distort it a little bit. That's done. Next thing I'll need to do now is to correct this color so it blends with the color of this text. For that, I'm just going to be creating a hue and saturation adjustment layer. Once that is done, I'll come to where I find my blue and I desaturate, lighten it up a little. Okay, at this point I'm going to increase my back to school text a little. Just increase the size a little, like that. Okay, I think I'll have to modify this color a little more to get the blue. Okay, that's it. Then here I'll modify this. Here I'm going to modify this mask at this point because the building is showing too much. I want to reduce the building. So what I will do is I'll fill it back with black. I'll reduce the size of my brush and then just click here so the building is not so big. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a layer above this building. I'll pick this very color of this background color. Once I take that, I use my brush and I click on that same layer. Just click there. Then I'll change the blend mode to color or soft light. Yeah, soft light. So once that is done, just need to reposition this a little, then modify this, reposition this. Oops, I think I need to group this, call it dates. Convert it to a smart object. You just modify this. Then I would like to use this same color, this blue, the blue of this text. I will change the color of this shape to this blue color here. So I'll just go to shapes, use my color picker tool, pick that color, then modify to that. So that blue has been applied there. And then I'll also group my logo layer, these three, group it, and I convert it to a smart object. Convert this one to a smart object so that I can easily move them around. Okay, this is the logo. So can move this to the side a little to align with this, and then on this here I'll modify, I'll adjust this position, centralize it a little. I'll bring down the building again, so everything is centralized. Logo, yeah, you want everything to remain aligned like you see the way I did it here. So align everything. Okay, like the color here was almost purple, so I'll have to modify this color using my hue and saturation to get, yeah, I think it's something like that. Desaturate it a little. Yep, so that's it. The next thing I did was to fill in the social media handles of the institution. So for that, I'm just going to go to shapes. Now bring in this for the website. Once you select it, I just go back to shapes, change a few color to black, and I resize it. Okay, it's beneath the hue and saturation layer. Reduce the size. make it smaller. Now type the website link, afecam.org. Move it closer to that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to bring is the YouTube icon. Let's reduce the size. You want to make sure that they are all around the same size. Reduce that, adjust it. I'll just duplicate this text so that I'll have the same font size. Afecam TV, afecam.tv for the YouTube channel. Move it to the right. And then next is the Facebook link. Facebook. Okay, this is a PNG file. Please, if you are learning something, support me by liking this video so that YouTube can suggest it to others who may want to learn too. Just zoom in. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be coming up with many more tutorials like this. Okay, so I'll type in Academy Fellowship Cameroon. Just need to double click on that. Academy Fellowship Cameroon. Select that, capitalize this. Okay, we'll increase this Facebook logo a little. Yep, I think with that I need to increase this Facebook logo a little more. Okay, so I will select all of these items, all of this, and I create a group and I call it social media. Then I convert it to a smart object. The reason I'm converting it to a smart object is so that if I later on want to adjust anything, maybe the color or the font size, to adjust anything there, I just need to double click on it. When I do that, Photoshop opens it in another project file where I can easily adjust and then save it and then go back to my project and continue. So I'll just close this for now. I go back to my main project, which is this. Okay, so I'll zoom out, Control T for transform, and then I will rotate this counterclockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then I'll move it to this angle, reduce the size a little, something like that. I think that is okay. So we compare, almost the same. I'll need to brighten this area around this this house. I'll probably change this color here. Let me just delete this layer, create another layer. For that purpose, I'll use a brighter color. Select an orange color, then increase the size of my brush, just dab there like that, soft light, and we are good to go. So I think we are almost done. The only thing left to do now is just to sharpen everything. So I'll select everything and just create a group. Select everything, put it in a group, duplicate it, convert it to a smart object, and I hide this so that in case any adjustments I do later, I may still come back and still have all the project to work on again within this other layer that I've kept below. So here I'll just go now to camera raw. I go to camera raw filter, just wait a minute for it to load up. Once it is loaded, I can zoom in a little. Okay, what I want to do here is just to enhance the image a little. Okay, once that is done, I click on OK, and this is our final result. So this is how I designed this flyer. If you enjoyed this video, please support me by liking this video, share this video with other creatives, and also if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, because I'm going to be putting up some other videos like this in the future. So thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.